What's up, droners, and welcome to this edition of Droner News. And today we actually have some interesting things, like always. One of the things, we're giving some stuff away, or we're helping give stuff away. We have governments banning drone flights over certain areas and a bunch of other cool stuff. So let's check it out. So let's just jump right into it. I actually got reached out to by Wondershare Filmora to help promote a giveaway. And I'm like, I don't know about that until they told me, like, no, they're just giving away DJI Spark. Like there's really nothing in it for me, but I was like, people like this drone. I did a review of it. You should check it out. So Wondershare wants to know what you think about the Spark. They are a film editing tool or company that has a software for that, and they're giving away a Spark, and they want to know what you think of it. So they actually have a page. We have a link below that shows you have a live forum where you could tell them what you think of the drone. So it's actually really simple to enter this contest. All you have to do is take that link with the forum that I just mentioned and share it on your Facebook. And if you get more than 10 likes, which I hope you guys have more than 10 friends that would like it, then you're automatically entered into the contest, and they're going to randomly choose one of the shares on Facebook and say, hey, look, here you go, new DJI Spark, congratulations. You know, it's a what, $500 drone for doing almost nothing and sharing a forum page. So I felt like it was worth it, so I put it out here for you guys because you could possibly win a Spark, because I'm not giving one away, but they are. So check it out. So if you guys have been watching Droner News consistently, you'll know that I talked recently about a court case that made it the FAA law or legislation illegal to be able to charge $5 to be able to do the drone registration for hobbyists. They can't do that. So what's going on now is that the FAA is offering a refund for your $5. And if you're really that desperate to get your $5 back, which I actually did pay $5 to register a couple drones as a hobbyist, and I don't care. But if you do, there's a bunch of steps you can take. What you'll have to do is print out and fill out a form, because government forms are so much fun. It's from the FAA website. Once you fill it out, you have to mail it to the FAA's Civil Aviation Registry in Oklahoma, and then you play the waiting game. Literally, you have to fill out a form. And like, I feel like the amount of time it's gonna take you to print, mail, and like, it's just, okay, whatever. But getting the refund, you will also remove you from the FAA's registry of drone pilots, and you can indicate in the form, if you just have to indicate a couple things. You have to say, I'm only gonna fly as a hobbyist. I'm only gonna fly in places I should, pretty much not anywhere near 5 miles of an airport, and that my drone weighs less than 55 pounds. And there you go. You're off the list. You're just flying as a hobbyist. Enjoy yourself. Also, the FAA is offering another thing, is saying that, hey, by the way, you can also actually just have yourself removed from the list, and we can keep your $5. I feel like that's going to be the much more viable option if you're like, hey, well, if I don't have to be on this list and I can still fly as a hobbyist, why would I be on this list? So that kind of thing. So I would say, you know, if that's what you want your $5 back, go through the process. If you just want your name off the list, you can do that. It's all legal now, so enjoy being safe and flying. Coming to number 3, we have drones that, pretty much off-the-shelf drones, being able to see. And this is an interesting one because, you know, let me get into it for you guys. First of all, there's a scientist at the Vision Robotics Lab in Zurich, Switzerland, are offering or developing software algorithms that allow off-the-shelf drones to be able to see and avoid obstacles. Now, this might sound really familiar because, well, I was just talking about earlier, the DJI Spark has the 3D image recognition, which I think is going to be on the Mavic 2. You know, if you look at the size of the sensor, it's literally the exact same size as the front of the Mavic, but who am I? So either way, that 3D stuff allows that the Mavic can actually recognize who you are working with the camera and be able to do the hand motions and also be able to do object avoidance. And these scientists are talking about being able to add that to other drones. So it's a whole different thing because, you know, you have the drones you buy that have with it, or you can get like a dumb drone and then you could actually put this on that, is how I'm understanding this, which is pretty cool. So you can literally just add this algorithm or this piece to your drone. Pretty much in the study, so far it's just a study, it's not out yet, this is something that they're developing, is that the scientists simply hit a button that allows the drone to take off and the algorithm takes over. And what it does is it 3D maps the whole environment and it can go from point A to point B, avoiding all the obstacles. So this is adding obstacle avoidance to a drone that otherwise doesn't have it. And the reason I like to bring this up is because you guys know how much I love drone technology and how it's gonna be like a bundle of adding everything together. This one doesn't necessarily qualify for this, but it also makes it so you can take like older drone technology that works, for example, like a Phantom 3, that's like, yo, this is a quality drone that works, and you can add object avoidance to it. So it's like, yeah, so pretty much I got a Phantom 4 because the Phantom 3 Pro has a very similar camera to the actual Phantom 4. It just doesn't have the object avoidance and doesn't fly quite as long. So if you don't have all the money to buy a brand new drone, this might be a good way to start looking into updating it. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this, and you guys should do the same. Coming in number 4, speaking of DJI, I don't know how much you guys know about it. I haven't really talked about it very much because it's not something that I engage in. But just like any other piece of software, or hardware, I should say, is that you can hack a DJI drone. You can hack anything that's hardware. So people have been doing it. And what we found out is that DJI don't like that. And this reminds me a lot of the iPhone case that went to court a few years back when, you know, we used to do, people were doing and still do, jailbreak their iPhones to be able to make it do things that Androids can do, make us do like all kind of other stuff. So what you would see is like people doing that, and they went to court, and the court ended up ruling that when you buy your phone, you end up buying the hardware. So what you do with it is up to you. So it's a really cool thing to look into if you're looking to do things you're not supposed to. I mean, I shouldn't say cool. It's a thing you can look into. But either way, DJI is fighting back, and they're going to be releasing updates, which they've been tight-lipped about when they're releasing these updates. But they're going to be releasing updates that make it so that it's harder to hack these drones, because like they want to say it's impossible at some point, but it's not. If you really know what you're doing, you can hack anything. So interesting. So keep your eyes on that. I'm not saying you should learn about hacking or not. It just really depends on how much fun you want to be having. So good luck with that. Coming in last, but definitely not least, we actually have the new drone transport record. I've talked about it before, in drones transporting things that are really important. In this case, we're talking about blood. And blood deliveries can be literally life or death. And so they've been really hard in rural areas, or areas that don't have reliable transportation, or roads, I should say. Getting blood and medical supplies at places is very challenging. And drones are helping to help people survive and be able to get things to where they need to go. So there's normally been limitations, and the record of how far blood has ever been transported by a drone was about 20 miles. This test that was conducted in Arizona, 160 miles. Latitude Engineering HQ40, which for those you don't know, including myself, I didn't know, is a hybrid multi-rotor fixed-wing drone. So it's one of the drones that has the wings, but also has the quadcopter motors on top. And it makes it so that it has the best of both worlds. As you know, fixed-wing drones can fly further and faster than multi-rotor quadcopter or hexacopter or octocopter drones. They can just do that better, but they don't take off and land as well. You know, they need a lot of space, they crash, whatever. So this is like a mixture of the two worlds. It takes off vertically, it lands vertically, and it can fly like a fixed wing. So this is what this drone did. They did the test, it took 3 hours, and they also did duplicate blood samples to be able to see how the blood matched up, and they found virtually no difference, which means that 160 miles is a viable distance that we can deliver blood now. And you're wondering, like, how is that possible? It's like, well, the battery that was on the drone also was keeping the blood temperature regulated. So the drone was doing everything. It was transporting it, it was keeping it at the right temperature, and it was keeping it safe. So yeah, drone's doing good. Droners, thank you so much for watching this edition of Droner News, and if you want to see more of them, bam, we got them. And if you want to see the greatest intro video that's ever happened on a drone channel, you already know where it is. And make sure you subscribe, because that is what allows us to do what we do, and there's a Patreon page as well that really supports us, so you should check that out. And as always, make sure you stay fly.